Cheers, cheers, and cheers. We are live.
We are live.
Oh, I needed that. That was good.
I'm cold, but it doesn't matter how cold I am. I will always have a frappuccino.
I know.
Doesn't matter how cold. And I'm cold. I've got my little thing on that I had on before, which I wear quite often. My mum picked it up for me when we were in Bath.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is that where you got it from?
Yeah, M&S in Bath.
Do you know what? I was saying this to Kelly, right? Because I wore this on the Tuesday live. It's just to cover, obviously, a different shirt. And I said, do you think that's all right? Do you think they're noticed? Do you think?
No, but I'm thinking whenever it's cold, hey, Charlie. Whenever
Hi,
it's
Charlie,
cold,
you okay?
You got to keep yourself warm and stuff like that, I feel. So, yeah. So we've got our little woolies on, basically.
So we did do a delivery order to get these drinks. And it's funny that when Charlie's there. Charlie's got
878.
Wow, you shot her. Well done. You haven't got many more.
Done.
Charlie, what you're going to have to do is have to do a special video when you hit 1,000. I think you should do.
Yeah.
Just to do a little celebration. I think that's really, really good.
Yeah.
But well done.
Sure.
You're nearly there, though. You've got what? Let me just do my quick maths. You've got 122 to go.
My bow is not playing ball.
Oh, no, well done.
My bow.
What was interesting with Kelly's drinks is when the guy handed it to me, because it's so cold outside, it was freezing to the touch. It's actually warmed up a little bit, but it's still I say warmed up a bit, but it was so cold when he handed it to me. Normally in the summer when you get those as well, it's starting to go warm, but it is absolutely definitely cold.
And what drink did you get today?
Chai tea latte. Because Starbucks always run out of oat milk. Always.
Yeah. So he's got it with almond milk. But you like the both.
Yeah, I don't know why I got so angry there. It's just
you like the both.
Almond milk is nice as well.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So we also got some new snacks.
Oh, did you? I looked at those. I thought, I'm gonna have some of these. I'm hungry.
Well, one of them is yours.
I'm not even hungry. I was just reading.
Okay, so we got the. Hey, where's your coffee bean? We got the espresso. This is the espresso blondie.
Ah, well, let's show because I want to show people these.
Yeah.
So this is it. So we've got some drinks. We're gonna food even. We're gonna try on the live. So this is the Starbucks espresso blondie.
Now there should have been a bean on top, of which there is not.
Oh no, there's no bean.
That's what I said.
You can even see the indenture where the bean should be.
So I don't know if it's fallen in the bag. It may have done.
No, it isn't because it would rattle. Actually, let me tip it upside down. No bean.
Oh, no bean.
Oh well.
No bean.
We're beanless.
No bean.
Oh, that looks good.
And this is a cinnamon.
Oh, I love cinnamon.
What is this? A cinnamon cream cheese muffin.
So cinnamon cream cheese muffin does look good. Oh, that smells good as well. Smell that.
Yeah, it's mine.
No, I'm just showing.
Yeah, I'm about to grab it because I know what Mark's like. Don't eat. You got your one.
Yeah.
I got my one.
What's in the other little fella? Or is that the two?
No, that's just my almond croissant for later.
Okay. All right.
You've seen a normal croissant, so you don't need to see a normal croissant now. So let me just take, because do you know what I want to do?
You can smell the coffee.
Yeah, that is. It's very strong.
It's very strong. So this does actually smell like a coffee cake. So
now, because we sort of tend to drip things all over the place, I'm going to tear open the bag so that all the crumbs and everything actually fall on the bag and not on the table and the laptop and everything else.
So let's do the little live taste test. So I'm going to try my little coffee. You're going to go for the. Oh, you're going to break it in the middle. So Kelly, you can't see this because she's doing it below camera, but Kelly's going to break the muffin in half.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Creating a massive mess.
Yeah, but I'm creating the mess on the table.
Oh, there's no cream inside.
There is. It's there.
Oh.
But it's only a little bit of cream.
Show the camera.
Yeah. Ooh. Things are falling off of it. It's so delicate. Let me take the top off. So there's a tiny bit of cream. It fell down. Just there.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Cream. It literally is a tiny little dollop.
Yeah, tiny little dollop.
All right, let's give this a go. So I'm going to try the espresso cake.
And I'm going to try this. I get like an appley taste to mine.
That is not bad.
Yeah. Is it strong?
Well, you can see from the top, if you can see there, the topping is quite thick. So there's a little topping there. It's difficult to tell because it's both the same color as the cake as the topping. But that is quite pleasant. No, it's not that strong. It's like a very mild chocolate
It would
cake.
go with a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Or
coffee.
coffee.
That's good. How's yours?
Yeah, do you want to try some?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, on the second bite, there's chunks of something in there.
Yeah, there's there's going to be chunks of espresso or chocolate in there, for
I
sure.
think it's caramel. All right. Here we go then. Double try.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. The cinnamon in that is very much like it's like a Cinnabon.
I can see where that second bite is going.
Absolutely. I think I prefer yours.
The cheek.
What do you think of mine?
I like it, but it's got that dark bitterness taste to it.
Which is what I like.
Which, yeah.
But I love cinnamon. That for me is like a very mild Cinnabon.
Mm.
So there you go. That's our very quick review of the new Starbucks cakes.
Yeah. There are other new ones, but these were the ones that I opted for.
Yeah. I think so. Out of 10, what would you give that?
Ooh.
The coffee one.
I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, I think that's a 7.
Yeah.
I agree. Your
for
one?
Sure. Ooh, I would give my one an 8.5.
I'll go with an 8.
Yeah. 8.5. I quite like it. It tastes appley, but I don't know if it tastes appley because you would synonymize cinnamon with apple. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But it does taste appley rather. I can taste the cinnamon, but I feel like I get an appley taste.
Now there is a little bit of a misnomer. So have you I don't think you've uploaded the new video yet, have you? No.
I've uploaded on Shorts and TikTok.
So Donatelier, when we mark them, when you'll see them as well, we mark them around the 8 category, and I've got to say these aren't as good as Donatelier. So I would if we're marking them. I know we're marking them 8 and 7. If we mark them against Donatelier, we would drop the scores of these.
Oh, for sure. If you're going to mark anything against anything else, these are on their own merits. These are not along the same merits of I feel with Maitre Choux, we did a little bit of a disservice to it, only because we had them right after we had Donatelier.
Yeah. So if you mark these at Donatelier, what would you grade them?
It's a difficult one because for me, because when we mark things, we mark them against each other. So I'm marking this against that because it's from the same place. You can't mark something unless Donatelier did a cream cheese muffin and did an espresso blondie, then you could mark them against each other. But you cannot mark different cakes against different cakes.
Well, funny enough, so some people have asked us in the past, why do we always go for Starbucks? Now, I've got to say, personally, and this is just my personal opinion.
No, I know.
Starbucks don't do the best coffee.
No.
That's my personal opinion. Why we do, they don't do the best cakes. But the reason why we tend to go for Starbucks is because Madam likes her fry.
Yeah, they do the best Frappuccino. And I have given so many places a chance with regards to Frappuccino. So I've tried Pret, Nero, Costa. There's 2 others that I've tried as well. Nero, Costa. There's a couple of others that I tried.
Have you tried
Pret, Nero, Costa, Pret.
And you must have tried then other high street chain ones.
Yeah. And it is, unfortunately, and also I tried them earlier on as well. I tried them early and late. So if there's a new Frappuccino that comes out from another place,
yeah.
Like with Costa, I really do like their mint choc chip.
Okay.
So if we do order from Costa, I'd get the mint choc chip. I really do like that one.
I don't like mint, chocolate mint.
And yet he eats all the mint candy canes.
No, it's only because that's just boredom.
But I like the mint choc chip from Costa. But that's really the only one. I do like some of the like when Starbucks do their tropical drinks in the summertime, I find that I prefer Costa's tropical drinks.
Okay.
Yeah, so like their mango and passion fruit or something like that is nicer. But yeah, I only really drink Frappuccino, so it's a little bit difficult, I feel.
So you guys let us know. Do you have a favourite of all the British brands on the high street? So I say British brands. I mean ones that are on the British high street, because Starbucks obviously is not
It's
a British
not
brand.
British brand.
Costa used to be, now owned by Coca-Cola. So you've got. Do you prefer Starbucks? Do you prefer Costa? Do you prefer? I was getting mixed up. I was going to call them Coca-Cola then. Do you prefer Nero? Which one is your favorite? Is there, or do you prefer an alternative brand? Is there a local one that you prefer to go to? Do let us know. Put it in the comments. So the week has gone. It is absolutely freezing here. It's really, really, really cold. I don't know how it is where you are. So I was catching up on some other YouTubers' stuff recently.
All right.
So I had a look at Sahina's. So Sahina's did a bread pudding recently as well. I was hoping she'd come on actually because I wanted to quiz her about it. Okay. So the way she did her bread pudding, she made the custard, but the difference is not so obviously with traditional British one, what you would do is you butter the bread and butter pudding, you'd lay it out like that, and then you pour the custard over the top. What Sahina's had done is she actually made it into breadcrumbs and then put it in with the custard. Then that formed, and then she formed like a creme brulee top. What would you call it? The caramel.
She caramelized the sugar on top.
Yeah, and then put that at the base of the thing, because that then becomes, as you flip it, becomes the top. And then she put that custard thing over the top, let that cool. So it's, although it's bread pudding, it's very, to me, it reminded me of a cheesecake.
But if you caramelize sugar and put it at the bottom,
and then you pour the mixture on the top,
and then
let it set,
and then pour the mixture on the top, and then let it set. Wouldn't that then soften the sugar? Because you're wetting the sugar, aren't you?
I don't know. It didn't. So I think what she did, she baked the sugar first.
Yeah.
Then poured that on the bottom of this container.
Yeah.
Then what she did, she let that cool. Then she poured on that custard bread mix. Then let that cool. So, if you're watching, please do let us know if I got this right. And then flipped it, and then let that cool, and then you have a slice. So this bread and butter pudding is done cold.
Yeah, no. I understand that it's done cold, but the point is, once you harden the sugar, because it's only a thin layer of sugar that you're doing on the bottom. So, like if you put a biscuit on the bottom and then you pile things on top of it and then flip it over, it would soften the biscuit. But the same would be for the sugar.
I don't know, but it looked good. I've got to say. So Sahina's, if you're watching,
let us know.
I did watch that last night. I was very interested in it. I thought totally different take on bread pudding. I've never seen that. Never seen that
and
before.
Sounds tastier. Now, what bread did she use?
A normal white bread.
Oh, normal white bread.
But she called it bread powder. But I think what she did is she put it in the blender. The bread,
right, and
then turned it into breadcrumbs.
Right.
So what we would call breadcrumbs. Added that to the custard, and then obviously that creates this custard bready mix.
Yeah.
And then poured that over that sugar that's already been baked.
Yeah.
So that, what would you call that? Caramelized sugar.
Yeah.
And then let that cool.
See, my only thing is, I'm not a lover of bread pudding with normal bread.
Well,
but then I've never. And I tell you what, I only go by. Because my aunt made it one time. Well, she used to make it quite a lot, and I never liked it. So, do you know what? I've never tried, because I've been scarred. I've never tried somebody else's bread pudding.
So
it would be interesting. Yeah, well, it'd be quite interesting to taste somebody else's bread pudding.
So we won't say which aunt, but you must try bread pudding.
There's only 2 of them.
Well, the thing is I've been to relatives' houses, mentioning no names, and they have made bread pudding in a very traditional way. So what I would call like that is, like you say, you get white bread, butter it both sides, you pour custard over the top, and then bake that, which is nice. I do like that. But what chefs have now done is they've advanced it. So they'll use brioche, or they use croissant, and that just gives it that extra.
Yeah. But I would definitely like to try it with brioche or croissant.
And the other thing is as well, traditionally when I've had it at relatives' houses, they will use milk and eggs to make the custard. So it'd be a bit basic, the old Victorian
way to make custard. Yeah.
So milk, eggs, and sugar. You turn that into a custard. You pour that over the air and let it absorb. What other chefs have done? So James Martin's recipe, he will use croissant, but he uses apricot jam. And instead of sugar, so the idea is you dust the bread with sugar, then he uses apricot jam on top of that, then he uses cream and milk, sorry, cream and eggs and sugar. So it's really, really rich. He said, try that. That's one.
Sounds similar to Queen of Puddings.
Yeah, no. Queen of Puddings is totally different.
Oh,
And then
really?
several layers. So Queen of Puddings is a bit like Shahina's recipe, where you got breadcrumbs and you do make that little base, but it's like a custard base. Then you use jam, then you use meringue on top of that. Queen of Puddings is not the same.
Oh, that's different to the
Queen
way.
of Puddings is my favorite. Is my cousin's favorite.
Yeah, it's different. In the book that I've got. Yeah, I'll have to have a look it up, because I did say to you one day I want to make it and see.
Queen of Puddings,
Queen of Puddings, and see how it is. I know your favorite is like pavlova or eat a mess.
Eat a mess is one of my favorites.
Pretty much anything with meringue.
I love meringue. Eat a mess is my favorite dessert, but I do love anything with meringue. I'm not gonna lie. Last night I got such a craving for it. I actually got some meringue pieces, which you got in there. Pour double cream over it, and had that as a dessert. That was so good.
There you go.
I really enjoyed that as well. So I am a real meringue lover.
Yeah, you are.
I love my meringue.
I do try to make sure that there are meringues in the house, because I know you.
No, that's probably not a good idea. I've been so bad recently. I don't. Has anybody else been the same? So since Christmas, pardon me, that's the tea. Since Christmas, I've just had cake. I've had chocolate every single day, because people have bought loads of chocolate, and I'm still having like bits and bits every day. I've been so bad.
But to be fair, if it wasn't chocolate, you'd be eating something else sweet.
Yeah, that's the thing. And
Yeah.
It's only recent. I never did this years ago. I never had.
No, you've been doing it since we've been at home, really.
Yeah,
since 2020, when we've been at home. Because I think where you're not in the office and you're getting on with work, or you're chatting to people, you make yourself a cup of tea or whatever. But when you're at home, you know, there's things lying around, and you know, and all of
That's
that,
the bad
and
habit
you
I
just
picked up.
reach for something as you're working away. So I feel like it's more accessible at home, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got to put all these things away so I don't see them in sight.
You would just go and look for them. You'd be like, oh, I'm on the scrounge. Oh, wow. But like with me, I try to make sure there's certain things in the house, because if I don't, I know I will crave and crave and crave and crave, and then go a little bit overboard when we finally get it in and stuff like that. So I know that when it's in the house, I'll have a little bit of it or whatever, and then like normally the last couple of days I've been eating crisps. Today's the first day I've not eaten any crisps, because I'm sort of like.
Yeah, you do actually. So Kelly does like a crisp. She'll have a couple of packets a day.
Yeah, like so I'll get, you know, the small sort of sizes from the like value bags. So I've got like McCoy's in the cupboard, and then I've got cheese and onion. I'm putting over here because there's a big bag of cheese and onion. So I open and I get the little packets, and then I'll sit there and I'll do whatever, and I'll have these like packets of crisps. But today's the first day where I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm not feeling that. So they're just sitting there, like, because I don't feel like crisps. But yeah, I will eat crisps if I'm feeling that. Yeah, I'm a crisp person. But I don't eat them. Yeah, there are times when I can go without them for like ages, and then there are times when I go through that spate and I think, oh, do you know what? And then I'll have crisps every day, like a bowl of crisps, or it's a tricky one, really. Yeah.
So how about you guys? Do you have any little perks that you guys have? Do you have crisps, chocolate? Is there a guilty pleasure that you have that you like to eat?
Are you more savory, or are you sweet? Are you sort of like that? I like savory and sweet. I'm not gonna lie. I like, if I have a bag of crisps, I like to have chocolate, but not any chocolate. I like I don't like the more expensive chocolates with a bag of crisps. I like the more cheaper chocolate. So, excuse me, like if I was having a bag of like cheese and onion, and it always has to be cheese and onion, I will have like little bits of the Creations or something. But like I would never have New House. I've tried it. It doesn't go. It doesn't go.
Really? New House and crisps?
No, it doesn't go. It's too, because with New House as well, it's very rich, and it doesn't go with something like crisps. It may go with cheese if people like cheese and chocolate. I'm not a lover of cheese and chocolate, but if people like cheese and they like chocolate, they may have chocolate with the cheese, possibly. But it doesn't go with crisps, for sure.
No.
For sure.
So that's it. So that's Kelly's favourite chocolate, by the way, which is New House. Which, funny enough, I bought her for yesterday's. There we are. That's New House. which is it? We got that one from King's Cross.
Yeah. So what has everyone been doing, and what are you going to get up to this weekend? We again haven't planned anything, but I do have something in mind.
I know it's really bad. My boss said this to me today. What are you doing this weekend? I said we keep doing this. Kelly and I said, well, we'll do something this weekend. I'm sure we'll get something planned, and it just doesn't come to fruition. Well, we plan it on the day on Saturday.
Yeah, but I've got a few ideas in mind.
Right. So we learnt last weekend. So we made a mistake last weekend when we went to Pizza Pilgrims. Pizza Pilgrims was very, very, very much a spur of the minute decision.
Yeah.
We'd actually planned to go to Burger and Beyond.
Yeah.
But when we got there were loads of tables free, but they wouldn't let. They just said it was a half hour, 40-minute wait. I thought, oh god, I don't want to wait that. By this time, it was Sunday about 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And I
Yeah,
thought,
we got there. No, we got into town about 2:30, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
yeah, I hadn't eaten, and I
Yeah.
thought I am really hungry now. No, I can't wait half an hour. But as it turns out, that would have been wise because we ended up wandering around looking for somewhere.
Yeah.
So we managed to find Pizza Pilgrim, which was nice. Definitely good little find though, and I love that actually when you go wandering and you look for just not looking for anything, just something to eat, and you stumble across something.
See, I don't like that when we go walking to look for something, because I feel like we have very different tastes. So like with me, I can almost pretty much walk into anywhere, almost, because the portion sizes are not a thing for me. So I feel like if I walked into I don't know, let's say a burger place, or let's say somewhere that does chicken wings or something like that, it's not a problem for me. But it's a problem for you because obviously you're pescatarian.
Yeah, so I don't eat chicken wings.
Yeah, so it then becomes a problem. So we're walking around, but also you'll think about portion size. So if it's not, and if you're hungry and you're walking around, obviously you're going to want to eat more than your average. Do you know what I mean? What is a normal meal? For me, it would be fine. I could eat a little something and I won't be hungry. But you're very different. So we have to look for something that is substantial. But plus, it worked out well because pizza's your favorite thing anyway. Pizza's not my favorite thing, but I have to admit I did enjoy that pizza.
So it was I would call, or everybody in there that worked there was Italian, and I think as well
Yeah,
that
I think
was
so, yeah.
that, I don't know why, but that just adds that authenticity. I always think.
Yeah.
Not saying that they have to be Italian, but I just thought, oh, this is a proper Italian place to eat.
And you didn't think I was going to finish my pizza?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. Normally you don't with a big size like that.
But I didn't feel that it was that big.
No, it wasn't huge.
No, it wasn't that big. I would have said it's the exact same size as Japes, but Japes have done it in a pie. It's higher.
Yeah,
but if you spreaded it out a little bit, I think you probably would have been, but the toppings were more in Japes than they were like in the sense of thickness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Compared to
Japes. Oh, do you know what? No, so Japes is so deceptive. The pizza's quite small. It's probably about that. And when it came, I thought, oh my god, is that it? But it's very, very thick. It's almost like I call a pizza pie.
Yeah.
It's not a pizza pie, but it's very, very thick. But it's not all base. Now, one thing I don't like when you've got a really thick base of dough. Because you think just I'm basically eating a loaf of bread with a pizza topping.
Yeah.
No, this is like almost. It looks like a quiche in itself. It's full of filling, but the filling is a pizza topping. So if you imagine it being a quiche with just instead of the egg and everything inside, is actually a pizza topping in your quiche. That is how I would describe Japes. But it's really deceptively filling.
Yeah.
Because I thought as well, I'm gonna finish this. I'm going to want another one. I thought this is a really small size. But I got halfway through and I thought, I'm getting full.
And we got 2 side order of chips.
Oh, yeah.
Fries. And you ate my fries anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, this is the thing. This is the thing that I find with certain places. Like, I was asking you as well, which one did you prefer? Did you prefer Rosa Pomodoro or did you prefer Pizza Pilgrims? And you said Rosa Pomodoro.
Yeah.
I preferred Pizza Pilgrims. But that being said, I felt like Japes was reasonably priced. It was okay, but they were charging £2 for sauce, right? And I just felt £2.
Well, more than that. So what was else? £3 for toppings.
Oh no, I'm talking about Japes.
Oh, Jake, sorry.
So it was £2 for sauce. Now don't get me wrong, you get a lot, but like I could buy a bottle
Oh yeah,
for,
sorry,
for
that's
£2.
right. God, it's such a long time we went to Jake. So yeah, when they say sauce, it literally is dipping sauce like ketchup.
Yeah.
So you'll have to pay £2 if you want those accoutrements on top of that. Whereas now I do think that's cheeky because I think if you've just spent 15 odd quid for pizza plus sides, I do think sauces should come for free.
Yeah, condiments should be
Condiments,
free.
that's the thing.
Condiments should be free, and like they're charging for sauces. Now at when we went to Pizza Pilgrims, it was £3 extra per topping.
Yeah,
now,
not condiments, but for the topping.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit cheeky.
Yeah, I thought that was very expensive.
They did actually charge for sauces, but because I wasn't getting any fries, I didn't need any sauces.
Yeah.
But they did charge, and I swear I think it was £2 as well for the sauces. I'm sure.
So has anybody else had something like that? Do you know places, and what's your feeling on that? So if you're going to a restaurant and they're charging for condiments, how do you feel? Or do you feel it should be free? Evelyn, hello.
Hey, Eve.
How are you?
I hope you're well.
Yeah, so like, for example, if you go to Nando's, all the sauces are free.
Yeah.
And they all come in the big little jars, and you can, sauce bottles.
Yeah.
And you can help yourself.
Yeah, you can have them on your table.
Yeah. Same with McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Same with a variety of restaurants. But I do think that is cheeky when they charge for if you're sitting down as well. I do think that condiments should be free.
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing takeaway, that's slightly different. So fish and chips really varies in where you go. So I have seen some fish and chip places because they charge per sachet of sauce, and the sachet there's nothing in a sachet. You have to buy about 5 or 6 of them. I
just feel like they should be for free.
But I don't know. I think for takeaway, I think you could justify it. But sitting in, I can't see how you can justify charging for condiments.
No.
Unless it's like a very posh condiment, like you're doing some like I don't know, say like truffle mayo or something.
I feel like they've bumped up the price already for food.
Yeah.
I don't take away regardless, because it doesn't cost any less to take away.
No, in actual fact,
it's more expensive. But if you order off of Just Eat and Deliveroo, which you can understand why, because they're paying the middleman.
Yeah.
So it is more expensive regardless. So your condiments should be for free. When you're sitting down, like eating, your condiments should be for free. Regardless, your condiments should be for free. They're already charging you to eat the food. So regardless, your condiments should be free.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in most cases, takeaway should be cheaper than eating in the restaurant. But we have had incidences as well where the price difference isn't that much. In turn, I mean, you wouldn't expect it to be that much, because basically you're paying for the food. Really, when you're sitting in a restaurant, all you're really paying for is the facilities to sit there and eat them.
So if you buy, years ago, I believe McDonald's will stop this now, but years ago it used to cost 10 pence extra if you were going to sit in and eat. Right. I believe it's different, but 10 pence is neither here nor there. 10 pence was neither here nor there when you were younger anyway, but they stopped that now. So but a lot of places do charge extra if you sit in.
Yeah, that's right.
So a lot of places do charge extra. But normally it's the independent ones.
Yeah.
So when it's independent and they'll say, oh, are you sitting in or are you going out or whatever, and like sometimes I'll say, but also the reason why they ask you sometimes because they give it to you in a normal cup.
Yeah.
So like if you were going to Nero's or Starbucks or wherever and you say you're sitting in, it's because they normally give you in a normal cup. But what I always say is, can I get it in a to-go cup? Because I may not want to sit there for long. I may want to go at some point and all of that type of stuff. So I always get it in a to-go cup anyway, even if we're going to sit down or whatever. But I do feel, because also they're signed, so that I feel that's good disclosure as well. So sometimes there's a little ticket that sits on each. So if you see a cake or something, it goes to have in blah blah blah, to take away it's blah blah blah. So you can clearly see it costs more to sit in, which I think they should also do on the boards. They do it in some places, but not all. So if you're reading the board that's stuck on the wall, it'll say, oh, this price to eat in, this price to take away. contains this many calories, and you're just thinking, oh my god, really, should I get that? But I think that that's a good thing when they tell you to go cup keeps the drinks warmer as well. Oh, do you think? I don't think so. I feel like when you yeah, but it depends on the so like I feel like yes and no with regards to that. Yes, because you do get the lid and it contains the heat. But also, I feel like in a ceramic cup, if the ceramic cup is already hot, it does keep the drinks hotter for longer. But yeah, you're actually now thinking about it. Yeah, you're right because it's got the lid on and it contains the steam. Whereas if you get it in a normal cup, and if the cup is wide as well, I noticed that if a cup is wide, it loses heat quicker.
Mm.
So if it's a smaller cup, like a more condensed ceramic cup, it'll keep the heat for longer. But if it's a wide cup, because I'm guessing because the surface is wide, it evaporates the heat and it becomes cold quicker. But you're right, actually, thinking about it, because you've got the cap on top, it will keep the drink hotter for longer, for sure. But yeah, sometimes when you remember, you might heat the cup. And then once the cup is heated, then you'll pour the drink in. So then it keeps the drink hotter for longer. So, but where I used to work before, where they had a coffee machine, sometimes you would keep the cups on top of the coffee machine, because then that would heat up the cups as it's going along. So then you would take your cup, you would heat it, and you'd keep your drink hotter for longer. So that's just a tip. If you work in a place that has a coffee machine, you can just put your cup on the top and it'll keep the cups hot, therefore keeping your drink hotter for longer.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, so I suppose it depends on where we go, but well, I say where restaurants you go to as well. But yeah, the condiment thing is an interesting one, and
Yeah.
I always do think that as well. But I've noticed that as well. Restaurants are starting to put in all these little extra secret charges that they can put in as well. Does anybody have a story of where they've been charged for something ludicrous? I have heard people being charged for napkins. So have you ever been charged for something that's really made you think, what? Is there anything that's added? I'm trying to think if we have. I can't think of anything on the top of my head, but is there anything been? I think the most ludicrous thing. So two things. Let's ask.
Yeah.
Anything ludicrous that you think, whoa, I'm being charged for what? For that? Or has anybody been charged for something that's a high price for something extra? So, for example, like we're saying, I did think that with Pizza Pilgrims, £3.50 for one topping. So if you wanted extra sweet corn on your pizza, that's £3.50. Now that, when I say sweet corn, that's a few little bits of sweet corn just drizzled on the pizza. £3.50. That's more than an entire thing a jar.
Yeah, yeah, I felt like with Pizza Pilgrims, it was slightly cheaper for the non-meat things, I guess, but it was something ridiculous. Like, what was it for? How much was it for tomatoes? I think it was like £2
Yeah,
or
exactly, for a few.
something ridiculous. And I just felt like, well, yeah, but more so for the meat stuff was like £3 and £3.50. The cheapest thing was if you wanted extra garlic was 75p. Like I feel like that's completely ridiculous. What, because I want extra garlic on my pizza, you're gonna charge me 75p? I mean, how many bulbs are you gonna put on it? So how many bulbs are you gonna crush up to put on my pizza to charge me 75p for extra garlic toppings? But the pizza, I've got to say, was absolutely delicious. I can't fault the pizza, but and the pizza was reasonable. It was £13.
So one of the things I did think, we were charged tap water one place. Most places do tap water for free.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, they're not. If you go to a place and they charge you for tap water, they're not allowed.
I didn't know that.
No, they're not allowed.
I have been charged for tap water, and in a pub as well, actually, many years ago.
Yeah, they're not. I think they tried it many years, but now it's always been free. And I think some places were trying to charge for tap water. And then I don't know if it was the government that got involved or somebody got involved, but they're not allowed to charge for tap water. So if you go anywhere and they charge you for tap water, you can. But sometimes if somebody's done me wrong somewhere, I get very principled and I think, oh, I'm not going back there again.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Oh, I'm not going.
I'm the same. Joe, I get really angry if somebody's. I feel I've been ripped off. I'm not going back there again because I feel, even though if I haven't, because sometimes Kelly will correct me. I'll go, for what? For what? And Kelly go, but that's reasonable. Mark, that is reasonable for I still feel that I'm not, that's it.
Yeah.
You've ripped me off. You've done. That's it. We are finished. And that's it. I'm never going back to that shop again.
Yeah, I feel like, where was it? Oh, yeah. Oh, so we went regularly to this massage place. So we probably go about once a month, get a nice massage, back massage. It was local to us, really nice, really reasonable, really reasonably priced. But what I don't like, so like if you go to, I don't know, massage or nails done, or any type of beauty thing or whatever, or even if you're going to what you call it, you're going to do exercise, you've paid for a trainer or whatever. This is my gripe. I'm going to tell you my gripe now. They are very free, and they'll say to you before you sign a contract or whatever, or before you go in, you must pay a deposit. If you cancel at the last minute, they will charge you your deposit. Okay? But when they cancel on you last minute, there's no, do you know what? We're going to give you money off your next one. Or we're really sorry, here, have this on us, or whatever. And it really annoys me. And so places like, like restaurants, and you've got to guarantee your booking, you've got to leave your card number or whatever, and they're going to charge you whatever. Now, if you book in a hotel and they say, if you're not going to turn up, we're going to charge you your first night's money, you think, okay, you better turn up. However, if they cancel on you the last minute, what happens? You've got no hotel. You've now got to go and find another hotel. And I just feel like when there should be, the government should put something in place where if you cancel last minute, yes, you lose your money. But if the establishment or whatever cancel on you last minute, they owe you money, or they owe you a discount, or they owe you whatever. Because it can't only be one way. Do you know what I mean? There's been times when, like, so this place that we used to go to get our massages done and stuff like that, you had to give a certain amount of time to cancel a massage. So there was one time, and I did it within the cancellation period, so I didn't get charged. So that was cool. But more often than not, when we go, we would just ring up and then go to the appointment. There's never been a time where we've cancelled ever. So there was no need to judge us in the same way that maybe they've judged other clients in the past. So anyway, one day this woman rang me up, and she was like, oh yeah, you need to leave a card deposit or whatever. And I'd say, well, we've always turned up to, oh, well, this one time you cancelled. I said, well, yes, we did, but we cancelled within the cancellation period. However, you've cancelled on us several times and we've received nothing. And then she was like, oh, well, yeah, because it's true. So you cancel on us, but we must cancel on you within a time limit period, but you cancelled on us last minute. So one time I think she did give us money off, and then another time she gave us a drink. But what happened was, on the very last time that we went, the woman, that she had a new girl there. So she had the old girl, and the new girl was very pushy. She wasn't a new girl. She was a girl from one of the other sort of like massage places. And she came, and she was like quite a little bit not shirty, but quite assertive with me with regards to payment, and then sat us outside, gave us a drink, and then closed the door. And I just felt, and I never went back there again because I was so annoyed. They've closed down now, by the way. But when you're treating customers like that,
I do remember that now.
Do you know what I mean? And I never ever went there again. And I just thought, do you know what? You've now lost regular money from us.
So talking of weird charges, I just wanted to Google that as well. This one caught my eye. This was in the news quite a while ago. A restaurant on the island of Wight has sparked fury for charging customers £2 to remove ingredients from burgers. So if you want to order a burger but want the lettuce removed, they charge you £2. So this means that a plain burger without cheese, bacon, lettuce, relish, or onions will cost £35.50. and removing the bun and fries, opting for just a patty, would cost £39.50. The way that so apparently the restaurant says that there was an error, but hit back at criticisms of their prices, suggesting diners, quote, make their minds up before entering, end quote, if they're happy to pay.
But the thing is, you would go in and remove that because you don't want food waste. So you yourself, you're trying to combat food waste, and they are encouraging food waste. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well,
It's just craziness.
Well, funny enough, if you think about it, technically that happened to me in Belgium. So when we went to Brussels, as you know, I don't eat meat. I'll eat fish, but not meat. So anyway, they did a veggie burger. So they did say it was a veggie burger with fries. Now, traditional
Belgian fries.
Yeah. Now, traditional Belgian fries are cooked in beef fat. So I said to the guy, "Is this are these not these Belgian fries or fries cooked in oil?" And he said Belgian fries. So we said, "Well, hang on a minute. That means this dish is not vegetarian if you use Belgian fries. Can I have mash instead, not in addition, instead of the fries?" He said, "Yes, you can, but I will charge you for the mash. So I have to have the fries. I wouldn't touch the fries, but I'd have to order the mash as well as a side. So rather than it being, say, let's say for argument's sake, €30, it now becomes $35.50 because I have to order mash." I thought, but I don't want the fries. This isn't a veggie meal.
Yeah, because it wasn't him that was he actually had to go back and check that, because he understood, and I reckon he would have given us, if it was up to him, he would have substituted
Yeah.
But you can't call something a vegetarian meal.
No.
Which was the mistake, because that it was listed on the menu as vegetarian. However, the fries were not vegetarian. And that's the trick. And I think a lot of countries, because this country is quite accommodating with regards to vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian and all that. But when you go to some of the European countries, not all, because I've not been to all of them, so I can't, but a couple of them, they're not used to this vegetarian thing, because they've always cooked with butter, they've always cooked with meat, they've always cooked with this, that and the other. So I think they're not getting the concept of what vegetarian actually means. Like when you went to Paris one time and you asked for ham instead of jam, and so what he did, he put the ham and he was like, "Oh no, actually I want jam." So he took the ham off and then replaced it with jam.
Yeah, that.
But obviously the meat has now touched the crate.
I had to just chuck it away. But that was my fault, because I said jambon, thinking I just had the word jam in my head.
Yeah.
And then of course I realised, so it was my fault. It's completely my fault that jam is confiture. So I was asking for confiture because he was chucking ham. I thought, what's he doing? And I thought, oh god, of course, jambon. Because I just think jambon, but of course it's not. It's confiture.
Yeah, but also they're not going to chuck a crate away because meat has touched it. And in his mind, he would not have known that you were vegetarian. But even if it wouldn't occur to someone, like a lot of people would be like, I'm vegetarian. Oh, well, I give you wafer thin ham. And you're like, well, yeah, no, do they eat wafer thin ham? So I feel like sometimes the vegetarian concept is not quite reaching, and I feel like we're even only sort of like starting to learn about vegans and things like that, because I didn't know that vegans don't eat honey.
No, I told you that.
Yeah, but I never knew that.
So nothing connected with
nothing connected with an animal, but I never knew that. I just thought, well, I can understand eggs.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't eat eggs and stuff like that, but it did not occur to me that vegans would not eat honey.
No.
But yeah, they don't eat honey, so I was quite surprised.
Right then, I'm going to switch this up a little bit, because when I was Googling to see weird things about that you've been charged for, I thought I'd just give it a little Google. Something just come up which made me laugh here. So this is the weirdest ways hotels or restaurants have failed their health inspection, right? So I'm going to question Kelly. Please do join along if you want to as well. Like I said, if you're watching this on catch up, you can just guess along. Right. Okay. Question for you and everybody else. One restaurant in Enfield in North London failed their inspection because of the way they mashed their potatoes. What implement, and this is a true story, What implement did they use to mash up their potatoes?
A hammer.
Anybody else want to drop it in the comments? I'll give you a go. So a restaurant in Enfield in North London found a way to mash up and smash up their potatoes, but they didn't use a potato masher. They use a different implement. What implement or item do you think they used? Evelyn said, but why do they eat things that look like animal meat?
Do you know what? I think it's for people like me. So say that I wanted to become a vegetarian, or, you know, I was going to be, in your mind, you're so used to eating steak, or you're so used to eating sausages, or you're so used to eating burgers. And I think it's to help people like me transition into having like vegetarian burgers and vegetarian sausage. That's what I think. Anyway,
back to my quiz. So Evelyn guessed ham. So the question was, what item do they think they used to smash up potatoes in Enfield?
And I said hammer.
The correct answer, health inspectors were, quote unquote, astonished to find a filthy potato-covered tennis racket in a bowl of boiled spuds, according to the Daily Mail last week, in a filthy bakery in North London. And if you don't believe me, that is what the health inspectors found was being used to mash up potatoes in North London. Oh, it'd be even better if they went out and played tennis with it.
Do you know some airlines were charging to use the toilet?
Stop getting off my quiz.
No, I'm just saying.
Yes, that's true. They do. Well, Ryanair do.
Yeah.
The premises.
But I don't think they're allowed.
The premises are used by two shops which sold desserts, sweets, samosas, and other baked goods. It is believed staff rested the racket on top of the bowl and mashed the potatoes by pushing through the strings or even grating them into the bowl. The two companies were ordered to pay out a whopping £152,823.23 in total after being prosecuted by Enfield Council. Enfield Council's cabinet members went blah, 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 blah. We take a dim view of any food outlet whose premises aren't kept in a hygienic state or manufactured of the food. Our residents have a right to expect the food they buy to be safe to eat.
If you read all of that, we'll be here all night.
All right, I'm just thinking of you. All right. Let me just.
Just thinking. All right, what's the next one?
All right. What was a Chinese takeaway called? I won't say the names actually, just in case. Was under investigation for the way they dried pork strips. How did they dry the pork strips?
In a what's it? Air dryer, I reckon. In like.
Well, like a tumble dryer.
Yeah.
Any other takers? Have a little think. The Chinese takeaway under investigation of pork had their pork hanging out to dry with their laundry. Ironically, the London takeaway company name served a racket of pork belly dishes, but locals were left nauseous after seeing the strips of meat hanging on the washing line outside the restaurant. All right. Next one. Hanging in the bar. No, sorry, I said it too quickly, so I should have given you a chance to do it. No, it was out in the laundry. So there were strips of meat hanging alongside people's pants. Over in the USA, things aren't much better. Earlier this month, the Salt Lake City Council Department of Health Department closed down a local Vietnamese restaurant after identifying 89 health violation codes, and more than 35 were critical. Why was it range? Oh no, so this one isn't a guessable one.
No.
Oh no!
No.
I won't read this one. I won't get you guess this one. That one's actually disgusting.
Putting people off.
Yeah.
Going to restaurants.
Here's one in Croydon. This will be right up your street.
Maybe not read food ones. Health and safety food ones that people are going to be like, oh.
Keep talking because I'm just going to read this one.
Because I feel like, you know, like you already go out to eat, and sometimes I just think when you find things out, you never leave the house. You would just eat forever at home.
Yeah, never. There is that.
You would just grow things in the garden. That would make you vegetarian because you would just grow things in the garden thinking, I'm never going to eat out again. So I think you have to be very careful what you read out. And I think, yeah, a lot of people wouldn't want to go out to eat ever again. But I feel it's one of those things when other people are preparing your food. I like to go to restaurants where you can actually see them preparing food. Like when we went to Donatelier, you can actually see them making the donuts and actually, I'm doing this because they're filling each of the donuts. So has anything happened to you guys that you think, do you know what? I'm not going back to that place again. Mine was the massage place. It's shut down now. And I always think that's karma. Do you know what I'm saying? So is there anything that you guys have done or seen or been to and they've done you wrong in some type of way and you think, I'm not going to go back there again? So what is it? What's that place? Where would you go? That sort of thing.
I won't read it. Those other last two were so disgusting. I thought if I read those out, it's just going to really put people off.
Yeah, I think not put people off.
All right, I'm going to do another one.
Okay.
This one's a bit better. So this one is we even said I once dated a guy that didn't eat out, so on dates I would eat alone. You're joking?
What?
But that's not a date. If you're there on your own, that can't. That's
no. So he's sitting there watching her eat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You both went. Did I read that correctly? You both went out, but you were the ones that ate, and he just sat there watching you.
Yeah. So on dates, I would eat alone. So they would be on a date.
Oh my
he would
God.
sit there, watch her eat, and yeah, I just feel like what.
I think I have done that once though. Only when we've gone out. I think it's because I remember I was sick, so we went to. It was when we went to Brighton, and I had really bad food poisoning, and you went to Harvester afterwards.
I would never have gone to Harvester.
You did go. You did because you met your cousin there and his partner at the time.
Oh yeah, but I don't think I ate.
Yeah, I couldn't eat because I was.
I think I only had ice cream.
Oh, I was so sick.
Yeah. I only had ice cream. I remember going.
Yeah. Even said, "Hey, I had to eat." That's really bizarre.
Yeah, I just feel like, why would he even go? I feel like there are some people that are just bizarre. Like the dating scene is normal. Like if he didn't want to go out to eat, he should have planned something else.
That is really
rather than say so. Like to avoid that sort of situation, I would have said, "Oh, let's go to the cinema," or "Let's go." Or if he said, "Oh, if like somebody suggested, oh, do you know what? I don't go out to eat, but do you know what? Let me cook for you, and then we'll go to the cinema, or we'll go to the cinema, and if you come to my place, I'll cook for you." Or there are so many other dates that they could have gone on. Like even if they had gone to the pub and like Eve ordered maybe snacks or something, and he may not have eaten the snacks, but he would have sat there and had a drink. So I don't think that. Yeah, that. Did you find it bizarre, Eve, that he was just like sitting there watching you eat?
But I don't understand that concept from him, because the thing is as well, if you went on a date as well and it was to a restaurant, that's the principle of going there. So you would think to yourself, if you and I say you wanted to go out and I really didn't want to eat for whatever reason, let's say I wasn't well or I was really full, I would say to you, do you mind, look, can we go elsewhere? Because I'm not. Or I would say, if you want to eat, but just to let you know, I can't eat for whatever reason. So I'm either full, I say I'm not well, I don't really feel like it.
Yeah.
But I would say that I find it really strange if someone said to me, if you said to me, let's go for a restaurant, and I'd say, well,
we're talking about dating, so like with
right,
you and I, it's slightly different.
All right, but if we were a dating thing and you said you wanted to go to a restaurant, but the expectation would be that I'm going to eat.
Yeah, I think you would. Well, hopefully the date would have said to you beforehand, "Oh, do you know what? I don't really eat out, but," and then switch up what the concept is.
So I see. This makes sense. Even I told him I'm going out for dinner. All we did is eat at home. I needed a change. Oh, he just drank. Right, that makes sense. So basically, you'd accommodated him. Well, this is the other thing as well. So basically, what Evan's saying is she's accommodated him because he doesn't like eating out. So clearly, correct me if I'm wrong, you've had multiple meals at home, takeaways. So now you're saying to him, well, actually, I don't want to do this now. I want for a change to go for a restaurant.
Yeah.
So but he wouldn't adapt for you. You'd adapt for him doing the takeaways, but he wouldn't adapt for you.
Yeah, but it's slightly different. I think if you, it's a tricky one because there are some people who just generally don't believe in eating out or don't want to eat out or have a phobia of eating out
or anxieties about going out into public.
Trust people. Well, he can't have had an anxiety because he went with her on the date to eat out, so he didn't have an anxiety. but maybe you don't like the way that people prepare your food. Maybe you don't agree with paying the prices of food.
No, I don't buy that, because the thing is as well, if he went for takeaway, the place where they prepare the takeaway will be the same place as the restaurant. So I don't buy the fact that his option was, I don't want to eat out.
Yeah, all she said is all we did was eat at home. So when you say eat at home, was it takeout or was he cooking?
That's a good point, actually. When you said eat at home, I assume takeout.
See, I assume he's cooking. As soon as I read he doesn't eat out, I assume then he only cooks indoors.
All right, even more. Oh, here we go. I had to let him go because he kept on commenting how bad. Oh God. V Singularity, hello.
Hey, hope you're having a lovely day too. We are having a good day. Thank you.
How are things with you? We were just talking about, we just talk about silly things really, but just about restaurants. So the last thing we were talking about was we had a look at some of the weirdest things online as to reasons why restaurants were shut down. And then Evelyn was just telling us about when she went on a date with this guy would not eat out. So when they went to a restaurant together, she would eat, he would just sit there and look at her.
Yeah, he cooked or I cooked, so you never got takeaways. Yeah, which is automatically what I thought, because to not eat out would then suggest to me you're not going to get takeaway, because there's no difference in having a takeaway and eating out. There's no difference.
No, that's true. So just out of interest, was that, if you can remember, we don't mind revealing, was the reason why he what was the reason why he didn't like takeout? Was it? Let me finish.
No, I'm just saying because she says it here. She says, what day to go?
So,
didn't eat.
I don't think she does.
I thought she said
no, she did. So I was going to ask you, was it because? So it could be one thing. Was it a phobia about restaurants? He didn't trust the way they cooked it, or was it a fact that he thought eating out was an extravagance?
Yeah, because look, she said, I had to let him go because he kept on commenting on how things looked.
But that isn't the reason, maybe necessarily why. So it could be.
Because I assumed then the way he didn't trust other people handling the food. I'm assuming.
Oh, it's about hygiene, right?
Yeah. That as soon as you said it, that automatically, because there are some people that are like that. There are some people who, that's what they're most worried about, is the hygiene. Everybody's worried about hygiene. That's why when I tend to look at the places, I tend to look and see the hygiene, what the hygiene rating is. Well, you've noticed that. Like if I do order from Just Eat or Deliveroo or something like that, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll slack and I'll go to McDonald's or I'm going to KFC. Not saying that they're not 5.
But they're always 5. McDonald's will always be 5.
Really?
Oh, the hygiene levels in McDonald's is really high.
I can't imagine all McDonald's, because they're a franchise.
Yeah,
so they're not a chain.
No, but it doesn't matter. Even if you're a franchise and you get the franchise, you have to stick to the company standards. So the company standards you have to clean every hour. They will want, because if you think about it, McDonald's will not want to give a franchise and then somebody ruin it in their name. They will insist that you stick to their hygiene.
I have 2 cousins who have worked in McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I can tell you they are not cleaning every hour and all of that.
Well, like I said, that's just from them. I would say McDonald's will.
I'm not saying because they weren't. Well, yeah, exactly. Of course.
And also as well, McDonald's will say, but then they're not hitting the standards that they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Because what you also have to remember is a lot of companies say they do this, that, and the other, but they actually don't.
No. That's unfair. So the companies will set the standard and expect their restaurants to hit that standard. But if the restaurants aren't hitting the standard, they're going against the company's principles.
Of course, yeah.
So if McDonald's say we clean every hour on the hour, of course they can't check every restaurant every day, but that's their expectation of all their restaurants.
That is their expectation of every restaurant. There's also CCTV, but like I said, there's a franchise. So, but it's like I've gone to work at companies and you read their mission statement and what their mission statement suggests. And when you get there, they ain't following no mission statement. I can tell you that.
That's true. I mean, they're not then hitting the company's policy.
Of course. But like sometimes you can go and work for a company and the company may be progressive, but the people that are working in it are not progressive.
Yes, that's true. I mean, the other thing I was going to say, actually, funny enough, like you say, it always reminds me about people's quirks when you go out and eat. Now, I remember this distinctly many years ago. I went out with a friend of mine on his birthday. So it was his birthday. He had quite a few of his friends, and his girlfriend at the time was there.
Right.
So we went to an Italian restaurant, and she ordered a calzone. I've forgotten the name of it then. So a calzone pizza. So as you guys know, calzone pizza, it's just basically a pizza folded in and cooked that way. Now, for the life of me, I don't know why she ordered a mushroom calzone, because she hated mushrooms. She hated mushrooms. She hated onions. And I forgot there was something else she hated, tomato, right? Which is the three bases in this calzone, right? And what I was eating, so I ordered my pizza. Everybody ordered the pizza. Anyway, I was sat there, and I sat there. All I could do is I was looking at her. I thought, what the hell is she doing? She'd cut the end off the calzone. She basically pulled all the ingredients out of the calzone, right? And she started to deconstruct them. So she put all the mushrooms in a pile on her plate, all the tomatoes on a pile on her plate, all the onions on a pile on her plate. I forget the spinach, I think, was in there. All the spinach on a little, and she just then started to eat the bit she liked, left the other three piles in there, and then just ate the. I just.
Why they make it fresh? Why not just ask for those ingredients? Not this is what I don't understand about people.
It wasn't so much that. For me, I just thought it was almost like an OCD thing. Why are you separating the ingredients and putting them into piles? So all the mushrooms were in this neat little pile, all the onions were in this neat little pile. So they'd all been dragged, everything had been dragged out. And she spent most of the time separating these into little piles. So of course, when I was sitting there eating as well, I thought, okay. But then somebody said to her, if you don't like those, why did you order?
Yeah, I've got to say, like when I was younger, and I'm talking about sort of when I was sort of like, I don't know, when I was a teenager, I guess, and prior to that, when I used to eat chocolates and things like that, I'd eat them in a certain way. And I don't do that now, because like now it's a lot of a hassle. But like if I ate a Kit Kat, I'd bite off each end, the chocolate, so then I'd bite it along, and then I'd bite it the other way.
Yeah, people used to do that at school.
But yeah, but I carried that through for a long time. And I used to do that with a Twix and things like that. So I can understand when people have, like, if I eat a meal, anything that looks good, I save it till last.
Yeah.
I don't eat it first. So I can understand a bit of the OCD, like you may put this in a pile, put that in a pile. I've got to say, it would look strange to me. I'm not going to say that it doesn't look strange, because if I saw somebody putting a pile of this and a pile of this and a pile of this, I would think it was what would annoy me, because that wouldn't annoy me. What would annoy me is if you had the chance to omit those. So if you had the chance to say to the waiter, actually, I don't want this in there, can you take it out? And they don't do that. And then all of a sudden they're pulling the things out and then leaving them in a pile. I'm just like, but that's just a waste. Why didn't you just say that you don't want those ingredients in there?
I did wonder that, why you would order a mushroom pizza if you don't like mushrooms. Anyway, it was
just order a margarita pizza. And then add spinach or add something on it that you might want, and add it as a calzone.
Oh yeah, I even said that. Me too. The best last. Do you know what? I do the same. I've got to be honest. That is my little fault. But if there's something on a plate that I like, I do leave that till last, because you really want to savor that last bit. If you eat it first, you think everything's downhill from here on in.
I feel sometimes though, because I get full quite quickly. Sometimes I don't always get to that last bit, which is a shame. And then if I can see myself getting steadily full, sometimes I try to eat it before I'm like too full. But sometimes I normally, if I'm going to eat something, I normally leave something to the last
bit. You know, funny you should say it. So Kelly and I tend to do that on the line, or when we do our food reviews.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, like for example, when we did Donatelier, the donuts, we saved the donut we thought was best till last. Now, what actually turned out was the one we thought was the best actually turned out to be the worst. But interestingly enough, I was thinking after we did it, I thought we should have done it the other way. The way we did it worked out best, because we ended up having the best one first.
Yeah.
And the reason why I thought that was better, I enjoyed it more because I was full. I wasn't full. I hadn't right. We ate 4 donuts basically in one sitting. Now, obviously, to do the review. Now, doing that as well, the reason why I think the best to do the best one first is because you really enjoy it. You don't.
Yeah.
I noticed that by donut 3, all my enjoyment of the donut started to wane. A, I've had too much sugar.
Yeah.
B, I'm starting to get full. And then C, there is a point when you get that point where you've had far too much sugar.
Yeah, no,
and
I
your body starts to say to you, like, oh, this is enough.
Too much sugar, yeah.
You don't really need this. So of course we carry on because we plow on because we want to get the review done. So we got the last one to do. So even I do wonder what part of me thought that donut was the worst because it wasn't the nicest tasting, or was it we deemed it the worst because it was at the end and we were pretty much full?
But also I disagree because we had 4 donuts, but we had half each, so that makes 2 donuts.
Yeah.
But what I don't eat the whole. You'll eat the whole half.
Yeah.
Whereas I'll eat half of that half. So actually, I have a quarter of the donut. But even for me, you are right. I did start to feel, oh God, it's a little bit sugary because I never eat 2 donuts. I normally eat 1 donut. So for me, I will have a quarter of each one.
Yeah.
Which would roughly make about 1 donut. But it did mar the taste.
Hi Keegan, how are you?
Hey Keegan, I hope you're well. It did mar the taste then of when we did maitre choux. But I honestly have to say, the best choux pastries I've ever tasted, like eclairs and stuff like that, is Julien Plumard.
Well, I've got to say, I did think that. So what we did the donuts first, then we did another cake shop called Maitre Choux. So the problem is, by that point, we'd gone through 4 donuts, and then we're reviewing pastries. Then now I did notice that when we reviewed them, we said, "Oh, these aren't as good." But I do think I've got to be honest. By that point, I didn't want the cakes. I did find I'm only eating these for review purposes. I think if we'd had them first, we'd have enjoyed them more.
I would have enjoyed them had they've been in the state that they had been cooked in. So it had a crackle topping, which wasn't crispy. So that already annoyed me. So like I feel like if I'm gonna buy something, I want it to be in the state that it was made in. So if it's been sitting out for too long, I feel like they should only sell them do them for too good to go.
Yeah.
So you're not wasting it, so that people can have it in the too good to go. And I think they should. If you're open till 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and someone's getting there at 4 o'clock, you should be still baking, and they should be still fresh.
Yeah.
Not a case of, oh, by the way, these have been sitting here for I don't know how long. Like even at McDonald's, they time it and then they get rid. So they then go to other people. They go on the too good to go, and other people can have them, or homeless people can have them. So I feel like that's what they should do. They should not be selling. You shouldn't have to pay full price for something for a substandard product.
Yeah, true. So Keegan's just come back from school, or has been at school. He's not just come back from school. I should say, a bit late. He has been at school. How was it? Was it good?
Hope you had a good day.
Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about the donuts that we reviewed. So we will put that up on our video so you can see the donuts there. They are amazing, but they are unfortunately only in central London. So I know Keegan, you being up north in Scunthorpe, it might be a bit difficult for you to have. But I'm sure there's some decent cake shops in Scunthorpe. Do you have a cake shop that you like to go to?
I'm sure you've got some great bakeries up there.
Yeah, I was going to say it must be. So is there a certain cake shop that you like to have?
So what do you guys think? So if you are, I feel like with Donatelier, they were just flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
So you could go in and you knew you were getting a fresh donut or whatever. But when we went to Maitre Choux, I feel like there should be 2 prices. So there should be prices for things that have just been baked. That's your full price that you're paying. And then things that have been sitting there for a couple of hours, they should be priced differently. Because they've been sitting there for a couple of hours. So you can't charge something the same price. But so the person before us might have got freshly baked, and we've got something that's been sitting there for a couple of hours.
You know what it is, though? The law of economics states that you shouldn't do that. So supermarkets. Now I know I'm not going to say the name of the supermarket. Many years ago, I used to work for a supermarket, and the manager at the time, and it was a major supermarket. It was one of the big high street brands. And at the time, the manager made the decision, we are not going to do any more reductions. Now, he was an economics grad. And it's what the economics grad is as well. The reason why you don't do it, and the economics states it, is because you're trying to deter shoppers that come in there, what they call the reduction shoppers. Now, the reason why all of this is overturned is for environmental reasons, but not for economic reasons. So economics will dictate that you do not reduce your product. And the reason you don't reduce your product is you don't want to encourage what they call the reduction shoppers.
Right.
So the idea is as well, because what you're doing is you would want economically, not environmentally, economically. That's really important to make that distinction. You don't want that shopper coming in just on the time that they do, just to buy reduced goods, because it also as well, it reduces, in theory, economically, their shopping remit. So for example, what they'll do is you'll also find as an economic shopper will come in and they will just buy what's on offer rather than what they need. So for example, if you go, my brother used to do this. So when he used to finish work, there was a Morrison's there, and this is years ago when he lived in Bath or near Bath. So he would just go into Morrison's, whatever's in the reduced he would buy, and that's his dinner. So if there's sausages, a cake, and something else, that's what he's going to have. If there's eggs, something else, that's what he's going to have. So the law of economics states you do that. The reason why they've overturned that is because of environmental reasons. It doesn't look good politically that you're wasting stuff.
But I also disagree in the sense that while he's thinking about money, because that's what he's thinking about, money in money terms, it also stops the people who actually really need to purchase things. So they are only ever going to get a tin something because it's whatever's owned.
You can't. There's nothing to disagree with. That's the law of economics.
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm disagreeing with the manager.
They're over there.
Yeah. I'm looking at you. But what I'm saying is, but when you're talking, you're looking at me. What I'm saying is, I disagree with your manager, not the law of economics. I'm talking about your manager who was quite selfish in a way, because I think. And don't get me wrong, like I've worked with a lot of people who have not had a lot of money, they're in debt, or, something's happened and they can't afford to get certain things. And so you're always getting the boring stuff because you're always getting that brand, that supermarket's own brand. And the time that you think, do you know what? Actually, I can get a reduction on something because it's going out of date. That snotty, pimply person, sorry, not pimply but you know what I mean. That person who is a grad has decided, do you know what? I'm going to ban it.
No. So when I say grad, he wasn't that young. He's graduated from that, and that.
So the person who's graduated from economics or whatever has now decided that those people, even though the other people, which would have only been a handful of people, those after shoppers, so he's now punished those other people who would probably have really enjoyed.
So to put this in context, this was many decades ago. This is when I was very, very young. So again, obviously, politically, things have moved on and what have you. But that coming by the law of economics, that's what you should do. And they would see it as much, much better to actually throw the food away than actually reduce it. But of course, that politics has moved on a lot from that. Keegan said school was very good today. Glad to hear it. And you might be going to a Premier Inn tomorrow.
Oh wow!
Are you going to eat or are you going to stay? I'm assuming you're going to eat. And are you doing the breakfasts? Charlie said, you got 1,000 videos on your channel. Charlie,
that's a lot.
Did you do the did your 1,000th video? Did you do it to celebrate the fact you've done 1,000 videos, if that makes sense, or did you just do a regular video for your 1,000th video?
I think we would do a special one if it was. I think we've got 600 videos.
I think we would like to do that. We haven't done way as many as you. We've got about 600 of, but I think we'd like to do a special 1,000th video to celebrate the 1,000th video. But I just wondered if you had done it.
I'm sure Richard's Adventures might have 1,000 videos as well.
I think so. We tend to do. I think with us as well. Our videos are slightly longer, so again, it takes a bit longer for us to put them on. You might do a stay over.
Oh, nice.
Also, Charlie said no, he might do a celebration 1,000 video. I think you should, Charlie, because that's a real accomplishment to do 1,000 videos. That's a lot of dedication and work, and it does. Do you know what it does? It does take a lot of time doing these vids. So well done, congratulations. and enjoy your stay over if you do that as well. That's quite good to do.
that's
Where will
what
you be
I-
going to? The is it in Scunthorpe, or are you going to go somewhere else?
You don't have to tell everybody where
No,
you're going
that's
for
true,
them
actually,
to turn up. So don't say where you're going, which
But
premiere you're going to.
enjoy the
Yeah.
premiere wherever you go.
Hmm.
Yeah, 1,000 video as well. So Kelly and I did do a little celebration live for our 500th subscriber.
We got balloons and everything.
Yeah, we did. Oh, Charlie's saying Rich has got 2,000 videos.
Oh, has he?
I didn't realize he's got that many. Wow.
I didn't realize he had 2,000. I knew he was rough. I thought he was roughly around the 1,000 mark, or past the 1,000 mark now. But wow, I didn't realize he had 2,000 videos. Wow.
So that's impressive. So yeah, we did a little celebration for 500 for our 500th subscriber. So again, thank you to everybody. And we always say this, but we always mean it. Thank you so much for all your subscription, all your support. We really, really, really do appreciate it.
We do. We so do.
It really helps our channel as well, and it helps us make more vids as well, which we always like to thank you for as well. Without you guys, we would not be doing this. So we do thank you so much.
So true. And when we reach 1,000 subscribers, we'll do a little something there. So yeah, when we reach that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Sure.
We definitely do. But we have many more videos on the pipeline as well. We've got plenty that we've shot and need to upload.
I have uploaded them as shorts though. So if you do want to check out our shorts, I did one for Insta, I did one for TikTok, I did one for YouTube of the things that we've done. The only one I haven't done a short on is Matrix Shoe, but I did do one of Pizza Pilgrims and of Donut Tree. So they are on there if you just want to have a quick scan of what we did. So yeah, but anytime we do a video, I always do a short that belongs to that video, and it will always be uploaded. So
there you go.
That's on the regular.
And that's a little hint. The shorts are a little hint as what's to come as a bigger video as well. We will get around to doing that at some point.
Yeah.
I know we keep saying that, but we will get.
I have started on the longer one on Pizza Pilgrims.
Yeah.
But then I was doing some other things, so I didn't get a chance to. But I have started it.
Keegan said, I like the breakfast, which is good. So that's at the Premier Inn. I know you keep raving about that. We must try it. Kelly and I have I thought, because I said we'd done the Premier Lodge and I was wrong, so apologies. I thought it was Premier Inn, but it wasn't. It was a travel lodge. So that, I was thinking we went to one in North London many years ago.
No.
And I thought that was a Premier Inn, but it wasn't. It was a travel lodge
Yeah.
In North London. So again, apologies for that.
Yeah.
It was a travel lodge one, which was quite nice.
Evelyn and I went to a Holiday Inn, and that breakfast wasn't too bad. We went to the one, Eve, I think if you're still on, I'm not sure, but I think we went to the one in Kensington, right? South Kensington, South Kensington, something like that. That was a few years ago. We went for Evelyn's friend's birthday, and yeah, they had a Calypso night at the Holiday Inn. It was so good. And yeah, we stayed there and we had breakfast in the morning, and the breakfast wasn't too bad.
Charlie said live stream yesterday just before 7:49 p.m.
Oh, I didn't see it.
No, we didn't see you live. We would have caught it otherwise.
Yeah, for sure.
Charlie also said 5 days ago went to a Premier Inn in Grimsby Hotel.
Oh wow.
Grimsby.
Okay.
There you go.
Holiday in Kensington.
Oh, in
right.
Kensington,
Yeah. And yeah, their breakfast there wasn't too bad. I've got to say though, value for money's got to be Toby.
Yeah. Was that Kensington and Chelsea?
Kensington.
Near Chelsea.
I'm just trying to think. Is Kensington near Chelsea? But no.
I thought it. Well, you know what I mean. Near Chelsea
yeah, but
in central London.
What I'm saying is Chelsea is near Battersea.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm just trying to think on the other side. Is it Kensington? That's all. But yeah, it's in Kensington, in London.
Yeah, in London. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So a few celebrations. So guys, if you do have any video ideas for us as well, please do put it in the chat, because we've been racking our brains for stuff. We've got quite a few things coming up.
Yeah, I've got a whole list of things, but if you've got anything other than eateries or something like that, like if there was, and we can get to it if it's in London or something, and you think, oh, do you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing that, or if there's a part of London that you want to see and we can get there, and we can show you what that part of London is like, especially if you don't live in London but you want to know what that part of London is like and you want us to go down and have a look, then for sure, especially during the summertime, because the moment it's so cold.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we're more likely.
So
We
cold.
will get out and about properly. When I say out and about outside London, but that probably will be closer to the summertime, just purely because of weather-wise and conditions. Just makes it easier for us. Keegan said, "I hate Holiday Inn Express because of the breakfast, but I like the bed."
Holiday Inn. We've not done a
No, we
Holiday
haven't
Inn
done a Holiday Inn.
Express, but I'm assuming if it's an express that they have the box like the travel lodge might do.
Oh,
So it might be that
no.
type of breakfast. But we actually had a cooked. So it was a buffet cooked breakfast at the Holiday Inn that me and Evelyn stayed at. But I don't know about the Holiday Inn Express. But if that's what I'm thinking about, I'm assuming it's maybe a box breakfast or maybe continental.
Do you know what? That was my big bugbear. I was so annoyed with Travelodge because when we had the breakfasts, the cooked breakfast, I enjoyed that. I know you weren't a big fan of it, but I really enjoyed it. But what annoyed me is we stayed a couple of places and they said breakfast. Do you want breakfast? Now I'm thinking cooked breakfast. They did not say it's what they called their breakfast box. So in this breakfast box is like a flapjack for. I thought I don't want flapjack for breakfast. Who wants flapjack for breakfast? A tiny bowl of milk and cereal. I thought, but once you paid for it, so I phoned at their head office. He goes, "Oh no, there's no refund. There's no refund." And I thought, but you didn't tell me it was this blimmin' box. I don't want this box. I was thinking cooked breakfast. Oh no, there's no refund. But I went to reception. So if you ever get that and you want a refund, go to the reception. Receptionists will refund you. But don't phone up head office because you're wasting money. They just won't do it.
Go to the Popeyes Chicken in London.
Oh, Popeyes.
All right.
Popeyes Chicken. Now that is at Kelly Street. Popeyes. We went to Popeyes actually when we were on the way to Mauritius. So we stopped off at in Turkey, in Istanbul, and they had a Popeyes there.
Do you know what? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I didn't eat it because
remember.
I don't eat chicken, but yeah, you stopped at Popeyes and your brother.
For sure, we'll try. I'll try
All right.
Popeyes. I'll do a video on Popeyes.
There we go. Thank you, Charlie. Popeyes in London. Is there a Popeyes where you are? I know it's a chain branch, so there might be a few.
There is a Popeyes on delivery.
Oh, well, not in Scunthorpe.
No, I'm talking about our one.
Yeah,
but they don't. For some reason, they don't sell like thighs and chicken legs.
Oh, okay.
They just sell wings and chicken burgers.
Oh, I thought it was just nuggets. I didn't know. Yeah. It was all right. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, he's retracted the message. Do you not want us to go?
Do you not want us to go to Popeyes now?
But Popeyes is one, so we will have a little look at that. That's more going to be Kelly though, because I don't eat chicken.
Have you been to London O2 Arena? We have.
Now, yes, Keegan, if you want to have a little look, check out our videos. If you go through our chain, you'll see the O2. We do go to the O2 and we do film it. So we go all around. You'll see us wearing our masks because that was back during the time of the pandemic. So we have been since, but we haven't refilmed it.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't changed that much.
But also before the pandemic, Mark and my cousin, they did the walk over the O2. So so that you can see, so we've got a couple of videos on the O2 Arena. One where we filmed the shops and stuff, and a few of the restaurants, and then the other one is but that's one of our earlier videos, and you can see Mark and my cousin walking over the O2 Dome, and then I go with my cousin's wife and the children, and we take the cable car. So I can't remember if I actually filmed the cable car, but you will definitely see the walk over the dome. And you can also in another video that we did. When did we do it? Did we do it in 2022? We didn't do 2022, or did we do it 2021?
No, 2021.
Okay, so in 2021 we did actually film the outlets, because there's some outlets there. And I actually filmed the outlets, and then because my mum hasn't been before, we took my mum recently actually. You've been to the London O2. You went to see Capital Radio Station Christmas party in 2022. Wow. So that was just recently. That was just this December. I didn't know you were in London.
Right, there you go. So while Kelly, I was just trying to get this thing. My thing is so rubbish, my tablet. Right, okay. So as you can see here, what the walkway is, if you see the O2 there, can you see that blue line that goes right over there? That is actually a walkway. So you climb all the way up the stairs, which is right in the corner up here. And then what you do is you walk all the way up that blue line and you go all the way over to the other side. This is actually all rubber. This thing, and the reason why it's rubber is just in case of lightning strikes. No, nothing's ever happened like that, but they do. And for a good 10 minutes, they allow you to stand right in that top bar, right at the top, that little circle, right there. So that's the walk of the O2. It was £35. I don't know how much it is now if you want to do it, but really good fun. I definitely recommend doing it. I'm afraid of heights. And it was a bit nervous going up because your cousin was the same. He went with me. He went,
yeah.
"Oh my God, Mark, this is high. This is really high." As we go, but it was really good. I really enjoy it. Keegan said, "I've been to." Oh yeah, you've been to the London O2. Charlie said, "Oh, in Scunthorpe, McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, or Subway."
No, Popeye's chicken in Scunthorpe.
Oh no, all right, okay, but Charlie changed it now, so he wants you to go to Popeye's in Nottingham. We won't be able to do the Nottingham one, but there is one in London we can do.
Yeah, because I don't know when the next time we're. Oh no, I keep thinking of not Nottingham. What's the other one? Newcastle.
Newcastle.
I keep thinking of Newcastle.
No. Well, we will do a Popeye's review. Well, I think Kelly will have to do that because it's
because
chicken.
Obviously Mark doesn't eat unless they do a vegetarian.
Oh, they might do. I'm sure. Let me have a look. I'm going to Google.
They may have a veggie burger.
Popeye's food. Let's see if they do a
Popeyes.
veggie. So that's a good idea. So thank you, guys. We shall have a little look at that.
But I have a feeling that the Popeyes will not taste the same as if I went to the States and had Popeyes. So when we do a review of Popeyes, obviously it's going to be the UK version of Popeyes. It will be very interesting because I would try the Popeyes here, and then the next time when we go to the States, I could do a comparison and try the Popeyes in the States and let you guys know if it's the same or not. I remember when I was a lot younger, I must have been about 15 or something like that. And I went with my cousin and we went to try McDonald's. I was trying McDonald's for the first time. This was in Paris. And the fries were so much nicer. I don't know if that's the case now, but the fries in Paris back then when I was 15 were so much nicer. They were sweeter, they were fresher than the fries that we have here. I don't know if it's like that now because I can't remember the last time I had McDonald's in Paris. I don't think we've ever had McDonald's in Paris.
No, we haven't actually. So actually, in fact, there is. I think so in McDonald's they have a burger chain very similar to McDonald's called Quick, which is just a big Q you see on the outside, but it's called Quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking here. They have a Creole red bean sandwich, which is. It says VG, so I don't know if that's vegan or vegetarian.
I think it's vegan.
Let me have a look. So there is vegetarian option, so I can eat in Popeyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% plant-based burger, red bean patty, lettuce, tomato, Creole sauce, whatever that is, and a soft brioche bun. So there's that. They also have, what else can I have? I think that is it, because all the tenders are chicken.
Yeah, probably that and chips.
Hot wings. Yeah, that is literally all they do. There's nothing else that they do. So they got regular fries, or they do Cajun gravy, which sounds quite nice.
I'm assuming you've been to London Premier Inn. It's a lot of money. Do you know what? Everything in London is a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's so true. So to be prepared to pay because it is quite expensive.
Even in Travel Lodge.
Oh, Charlie went to the O2 as well.
Oh yeah, because they're brothers. So
yeah. Well, not necessarily. One might have gone to a school trip or something.
Yeah, that is true.
Because they normally go by year rather than sibling group.
Yeah. I think it's a difficult one because in London there isn't anything. I mean, the only thing that, because obviously when we speak to people that live in different parts of the UK, it's so much more cheaper than if you live in London. Like,
do you know what? So Charlie and Keegan, just while you're on, because I know you're not living in London, how much would you guys pay for fish and chips where you are? So if you do know that, if you do ever buy it, how much is fish and chips? Because
how much is a cod separately and how much is chips separately? Because here is very expensive. Like if we got fish, so like Mark likes fish and chips, and sometimes he likes to get like a calamari or something, and then I will get fish chips and a battered sausage. Also, Mark likes to get like curry sauce. He likes to get the mushy peas and all that. But that can come to about £40. It's something ridiculous. The chicken nuggets in McDonald's Lanzarote was the best. Oh, really? Do you know what? I can't remember the chicken nuggets. I've got to be honest. I do remember.
Did we go to McDonald's in Lanzarote?
Me and Evelyn.
You two did.
We had McDonald's there. I remember we got it as a quick takeaway. Evelyn was feeling hungry, and I think I didn't want to eat in the hotel, but I think you lot were going to eat in the hotel, so I ended up having that from there. Yeah, like it was a quick service.
Yeah. So sorry, just quickly. So in our local fish and chip bar, just to give you an idea, the cod alone is £12.25.
Yeah.
Chips on their own, which is shocking, is £4.20.
Yeah, yeah.
So essentially, what you're paying is £16.45. That's just under £17 for cod and chips.
Twice.
So yeah, we're going to do that twice. So that is how expensive it is in London. I told Mark that. So Mark lives in just outside
Newcastle.
Just outside Newcastle, doesn't he? And they were shocked when I said Kelly and I pay £42 for 2 fish and chips. He said they paid £26, I think, for 2 fish and chips. So you're looking at nearly double here in London for the same food.
I think it was even cheaper.
No, he's 26. I think, yeah, 26.
But that's for
2.
Yeah, that was for 2. Like, but here, because before fish and chips was always a cheap supper.
Ah, Keegan said his mum's staying at the Hotel Mill Chelsea football ground. So that's at Stamford Bridge. Oh wow. Is she there? Does she support Chelsea? Is she going to watch the game, or is this more for a work thing? Charlie said, so there's someone in my family that lives not far away from Wembley Stadium.
Oh wow.
So Wembley Stadium is in Brent, which is West London.
So it's £15 there in
Stamford. Oh, so actually, it's not that much different.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Do you know what, Keegan? I'm surprised at that. I thought it'd be a lot cheaper. I must be honest, I thought it'd be a lot cheaper because it's, like I said, it's £17 here in London for fish and chips. Well, where we are, that's our local one. I mean, if you go in central London, it'd be more expensive.
Yeah.
But I am surprised. I thought it'd be a lot cheaper.
I've got to say, I thought it was going to be under £10.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought for fish and chips would be under £10. I did not think it was going to be £15.
That has surprised me.
Is that £15 for 1 fish and chips though? Is that for like 2 fish and chips or something?
I'm surprised. I am really surprised. I thought the difference would be quite
substantial.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be under £10 for fish and chips, but gone are the days now. Fish and chips, that's what you used to get on a Friday as a cheap supper. And plus, because obviously you don't eat meat on Fridays, like a lot of people don't eat meat on Fridays, so that would be.
I remember. Now this is going back a bit. This was in the 1990s. I went to see a friend of mine in Wales, and I think they charged me for a large cod and chips. And I remember the Welsh guy saying I was a bit pricey. We had put our prices up just to let you know. It was £2.30 for a large fish and chips. I do remember paying that because he said he's put his prices up, but it was at the time it was so much cheaper than London. So when he said £2.30, I thought, wow, that is so cheap.
I'm sure I vaguely remember. I can't remember as I was growing up, but I'm sure at one point for fish and chips it was like £8 something. I'm sure it used to be £8 something for fish and chips. It was considered a cheap supper.
Yeah, I remember around about the time in London, because I was paying about £6 at that time for fish and chips. So when he said £2.30, I was like, okay, that's fine with me. That's why I was surprised that it was £15. I must be honest.
So what cheap meal? What constitutes as a cheap meal, and where would you go for a cheap meal?
Do you know what? I was going to say the same thing. So Kelly and I were thinking about doing a little series on what we call cheap eats. So what we wanted to do is go and review food that was what we call cheap. So where you could get a cheap meal, cheap food, and really to give you guys some tips on where's good to eat that's very cost effective. But Kelly and I were having a debate what we considered cheap. So for me, I think it should be £10. So you have to get a meal for £10 maximum. And that's the meal. So not dessert, but where you can go and get a main for £10 and then be a substantial food.
Yeah.
So that was what we were going to say. So reason why we said a tenner was a lot of places. Time Out magazine for London did a thing on what they called cheap eats, but I thought it was a bit of a cheap because they included starters, which you would expect to be under a tenner. But even these days, some of them aren't. But which I would expect. So we just want to see what you guys would like to see in that if we were to do that. A, do you think it's a good idea? B, if we were to do that, what sort of price range would you expect to see?
So yeah, we were having a discussion, and I think anything under £20 would be considered a cheap meal. Only because, and the reason why I say £20 is because under £10 you're talking about fast food places.
Yeah.
So under £10 you're talking about Subway, you're talking about McDonald's, you're talking about Greg's, you're talking about Burger King, sort of like the burgery type places. So I don't think realistically, because even pizza, you wouldn't even get pizza under £10.
Well, no, that's what we said. So we're just thinking, right, we wanted to set a benchmark bar. Because the other thing is as well, I don't want us to say cheap eats, and people say, well, that's not cheap. So,
yeah.
There is a slight premium there. But again, yeah, and we wanted to avoid the obvious one. So we would say in this one, right, this isn't going to be McDonald's. Everybody knows about these cheap eats. We're not really bringing this to the masses. It'd be something where we can find a little surprise that you can eat and say, actual fact, this is a great little find, and this is how much it's going to be.
Yeah.
So that's it. So this would be bar fast food takeaways. Keegan said, right, the hotel his mum stayed at in Kensington was near the show she went for her birthday surprise. Right, okay.
Nice.
That's really nice.
That's nice.
So she's gone to see a West End show.
Nice.
Charlie said, my granddad's brother lives in Harrow. Fish and chips was expensive.
Yeah.
I can imagine that being, London is expensive.
Anywhere in London these days is expensive when you're going to try and get something to eat.
Vaughan Malone. Niche places, local popular places. Nice to see you again. How are you?
Nice to see you. So what would you, okay, so the first thing would be to ask, what do you consider cheap eats? Like, to me, cheap eats would be anything under £20. And I would probably do more chain type stuff so that people could access it all around the country.
Our second thing is, how are you and how are you doing?
And I hope you're well.
Yeah. But that's a nice thing to know, niche places and local popular places. And do you know what? That was something we were thinking.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't want to bore everybody and just say, like, let's review McDonald's. Everybody's tried McDonald's.
Yeah.
Let's do Burger King. Everybody's tried. But I do like that. Little niche places.
Yeah.
Little gems, hidden gems.
Yeah.
So we can say, try this place. It's really, really good. Keegan said, just hello.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was going to say is, like I said, although we did the pizzas for like 13 quid each in Pizza Pilgrims, we thought that was quite cheap for Soho.
Yeah.
But
because it came to £41 and some change. So I thought that was quite reasonable. We had 2 pizzas, we had 2 bottles of water, and we had garlic bread. What you call it? Garlic bread. Mozzarella flatbread, they called it.
But Vaughan, thank you so much. That's really, really helpful feedback, because that's something we will definitely take on board.
Yeah, for sure.
We will do a little bit more research. I did, actually, fact, funny enough, I was Googling the other night cheap eats in London, and where's good to go, where's good places as well. They had some hidden gems there, but they are really spread across London. So some are in like Holloway, some in Hackney, some right down in Kensington and Chelsea, some round there. So they are really far apart.
Yeah.
So again, for us to get to these places, we've really got to go out the way to get to them, which we will do on some of them. But we really want to try and find some quickie eats as well, but also ones that aren't so snacky. So ones that we would constitute a meal. So Boonseek is an odd one, because I count that as like a snack bit, but it is substantial in some ways.
Yeah, it's a grab and go, if that makes sense. They do have little seats there, but it's mainly a grab and go. It's like a Korean hot dog, and you could get a couple of them, and it would be under £20. Like if you got 2,
that's true.
That is, so you could get like a sausage one and a potato one. That would constitute as a meal, so it would be considered a cheap eat, let's say. But it's more of a grab and go rather than a sit down, rather than like a sit down pizza. So we would need to think about what the cheap eats are, but you could quite easily, before you're going somewhere, you could quite easily go to Boonseek, and you would enjoy it. It's an enjoyable, it's an enjoyable thing for sure.
So again, Boonseek in central London, we have shot it already before, but I think we might sort of tag that into our cheap eats round. So we will do a little bit more research as well. The other thing we want to do, as Vaughan was saying, is we do want to do like an eclectic mix, so not just like British food. We want to do like it across the board, and find some decent little gems there as well.
Yeah.
Keegan said, could you please say hello to my reindeer that I got for Christmas? I sent you a photo for the message.
I'm just having a look for it now.
Kelly's just having a look now, but we will say hello to the reindeer. Oh, Vaughan said anywhere in Borough Market, avoid the eel pie place. Well, do you know what? Actually, funny you should say that, because we did do a review in Borough Market, but the food quality I thought was really good. But I must say, I did think that the actual prices, and some of them were quite expensive. So you might have seen in our Borough Market video, which we shot last summer. We will go again.
We're going to for sure go again, yeah.
But we'll probably go later in the year, just when it's warm. I did the toasted cheese sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Now that was £7 for a toasted cheese sandwich, and I know they used loads of nice posh cheeses, but I did think that was pricey for what it was.
Yeah.
So I do want to try some different places in there as well.
Yeah. Oh, there'll be other, because you even tried your oysters, which you really enjoyed.
I love oysters.
Yeah, you do. But it was more expensive, because I think it was £12 for 4. Whereas, or it was either £12 for 4 or £12 for 3. Whereas in our local place, it's £5 for 3.
Now, the one place I would recommend if you do want something cheapish in Borough Market. So yeah, everyone said so many choices. The one I would recommend is Bread Ahead. So Bread Ahead is on the other side of the market. I'm trying to find the direction as you go through the market. It has a little store there, but behind is the bakery. Now, they're famous for doing their donuts. Their donuts are delicious. They are about £5 each, but they are worth it. But, hang on, they do their baked pizzas. Now, their pizzas, I thought, were very reasonable. They're not huge, but they are below a tenner.
I thought they were huge.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
For me, they were huge. I was just like, what?
I think at the time we went, which was last year, was about £6-7, I think, for their pizza.
I think it was even less. Was it not 5? Was it more than 5?
I think it was.
I can't quite remember, but I thought for that price was really good value. It's the only place I think in Borough Market, because like a lot of people are talking about, is it called the Black Pig? I think. Now the like there's a lot of going around on it. Now I had it last year. I thought it was good. But I didn't rate it as much as other people are rating it, but it was good. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but yeah, I don't think it was like.
So that's the donuts you'll see there. They are absolutely amazing, the little fillings. If I bring it up closer there, the trouble is our light kind of stems. You have to do it on an angle.
Yeah.
But the pizzas, that's the donuts there. Look. So we did review those, which was honestly, they are absolutely fantastic. But the pizza.
But I think we did a review in our last live, or the live before that, of a place called Donut Tree, and so the bread of the donut of Bread Ahead is the best that I think I've ever tasted.
If you can see that, so it looks a bit like that with the, excuse the light ring. With the different breads and stuff on there.
But the filling of Donut Tree is the best filling I think I've ever tasted. And I think if they married the Bread Ahead donut and the filling of Donut Tree, I think that would be the most amazing donut, because even though Bread Ahead's the best bread donut that I've ever tasted, the fillings I don't think are all that. So you're not getting the full experience that I think that donut could deliver. But the fillings from Donut Tree,
I love bread. And do you know what? I've got to say, people always ask me what my favorite food is. And I've got to say, it is bread. I love, you're not such a big thing, but I love things like sourdough. And when you toast that, especially if you buy it fresh, and I know these loaves are expensive, but when you buy that fresh and you cut that up and you toast it and you have butter on that, there's something so simple but so delicious about bread. I know it's full of carbs, but I don't care. That I just love bread. I can live off bread.
For me, don't get me wrong, there are times when I just have bread and butter, but it has to be toast. I'm not a lover of just bread on it. I like toast. But for me, I really love focaccia. I feel that has to be my favorite is focaccia. And in there used to be a place called Benugas. They are still around, but on Fridays and sometimes in the week they used to do like a roasted meat of some sort. So whether that be pork or whether that be lamb, and they would put that on the olive oil focaccia. Oh my days!
Well, what's funny,
you would have to clap for it. It was so good.
What's funny is if anybody watches, used to watch Man vs. Food, so Adam Rickman, who's the guy that used to present it, they've changed the presenter now. He did a show where he goes around the world and tries different things, and he went to the UK, and he said nowhere does toast and butter like they do in the UK. And I do think that there is something about British toast. Oh, Vaughan said Harrods lobster roll. Oh my God, £18. Is it that good? I've not tried that.
See, my only problem with lobster roll, and this might, because I really do like lobster roll, you don't have to work for it. I like food that you don't have to work for. So when you're having fresh lobster and you have to crack this and do this and all of that, I'm not about that lifestyle. I do love a good lobster roll. My only problem is a lot of the time it's cold. But when I eat lobster, I want it to be warm. I want to have that warm bread. I want to bite into it. Yeah. I think if they did it warm, I would for sure get it. But if it's cold, because Burger and Lobster also do a lobster roll, it's okay. It's good. It's not bad. But if it was warm, or lobster in a nice crusty, oh my word.
Keegan said, those donuts, yes or no? I don't know. Those donuts, honestly, Keegan, you have to try them. If you are ever in London and your parents take you to London, do go to Borough Market and do try Bread Ahead. They are fantastic. Even said Bread Ahead donuts with a glass of champagne for lunch at Borough Market.
Oh, look at Evelyn.
Posh.
She, like, my nephew says I'm very bougie. She goes, oh, look at Auntie. He goes, oh, look at Auntie Kelly's bougie. But let me tell you something. Evelyn is the bougie one. She's so much more bougier than I am. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments, but Evelyn, she's proper bougie.
So Charlie asked, what is everybody's favourite fast food restaurant in the UK? Oh, that's a tricky one. Oh, so Vaughan said Italian, French, and traditional British. Love them all.
Yeah.
About the bread. Do you know what I love in Italy as well? What we used to do is you cut the slices of bread, you dip that in olive oil, and then dip it in salt. That combo of bread, olive oil, and salt is amazing. It's so good.
See, for me, it's got to be balsamic vinegar and olive oil. I love that.
That is really
especially
good.
if it's a good balsamic vinegar. Because let me tell you, I've tasted some real rubbish balsamic vinegars, and it's a tricky one because I remember asking an Italian guy once, what it's a guy that I used to work with. I said, well, like, what's the best best balsamic vinegar? Like, some of them vinegars can be like so pricey. And he was saying, oh, yeah, as long as it's from Modena. But I picked one up and it was rubbish. But we went to Italy. And I've got to say, the balsamic vinegars that we picked up in Italy were really, really good. But also, they don't have, I haven't seen them here, but oil and vinegar, they used to be all over the place. And then they went into administration a good few years ago now, maybe 7 years ago, something like that. So they're only dotted around in a few places, but they are quite popular in Brussels. So whenever I go to Brussels, I always make sure I get, and then they did a white balsamic vinegar. Oh my word, that white balsamic vinegar is so good. And I love it. But yeah, if there's an Italian, like, so if it's like a focaccia, and you're dipping it in the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar, I feel it's really tasty.
That's really nice. Vaughan, I don't know if you're based in London, but do check out Italy. It's about EAT hyphen IT, like Italy, but Italy.
Italy, yeah.
There's one based in Liverpool Street. They've got some really good foods in there. You may have been already at all. Vaughan said Lidl do a reasonable balsamic. Okay. We'll have to check that out as well.
Yeah.
So Charlie, going back to Charlie's point, what's your favourite fast food restaurant in the UK?
Okay, so you've not sent the photos to the Facebook, because, like, yeah, I just checked it and it wasn't there. So when you send it, I'll be able to see it, and then I'll be able to have a look at the picture. But I just checked it and I didn't see that you'd sent a picture. So whenever you're ready, just send it, Keegan, and I'll be able to see it. Yeah, with regards to the reindeer picture. I think Yeah, I can't remember the last time I was in Lidl. My aunt goes quite regularly, but I can't
We'll have to
tell
try
you.
that actually.
Yeah,
We'll have. There's
Lidl not too far
there's a
for
little not
sure.
too far from us.
But because it's always in an awkward place, there's only one that I've been to actually that's not too far, that's not in an awkward place. But the other one that's closer to us is in a bit of an awkward place. It's like off the main road. But this one you can approach it from the side road. The other one that I'm thinking of, we should pop in there the next time that I
We'll
pop
have
up.
to
Yeah,
try
yeah.
that actually.
We never ever go in.
It's only because it's because we're lazy. It's just slightly out the way.
Yeah.
And it's not on the way to anything else. So you have to go out your way to get to it. So Charlie said every Thursday his is live stream for anybody who wants to catch Charlie. What time do you do that normally on a Thursday, Charlie? Because we didn't miss it yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It didn't pop up.
You just sent it now.
Okay.
Oh, and Charlie was saying in Skegness there's a new hotel going to be a travel lodge. Those donuts, though, I do recommend, Keegan, if you want to try them, or anybody else, the bread ahead donuts. We will upload our Donatelier video as well, because this is the brand new donut place that has opened up in central London. Those donuts are amazing. Check out the shorts that we did, but they are fantastic. Some of the best donuts I've ever tried.
I'm just messaging you saying I can't see the picture.
Yeah, send us the picture. We'd love to see the picture. He just said he sent it now, so we will check that one out as well. But Vaughan, yeah, any other sort of suggestions? Well, please do keep them coming in. If there's any places or little gems you found, or anybody else really, if there's some little gems that you found that
that you want to reveal to us, that you don't mind us revealing to the others, we'll go and try it.
And then we'll film it.
But I think the goal for me, I think the goal for you is under 10, and for me the goal is under 20.
Oh, we will see. But yeah, we want to avoid, so we'll do cheap eats, but not what do you call them?
Fast foods.
Yeah. We want to try and avoid all the mainstream ones that everybody knows about.
Yeah, it would be good if like we could find a little hidden something. I'm just trying to think of any places that I've tried. There's loads of dessert places. So many dessert places that are popping up.
Fantastic.
So many. Have you tried cronuts? I wish I'd had one. Do you know what? I did. Where did I try the cronut?
Sorry, not McDonald's. Don't M&S do a really nice one, cronut?
Yes.
So try the cronuts from M&S. M&S do a really nice range of cronuts. They are really, really good. And they do iced ones as well, which are fantastic. So do try them. They're really popular. They're in their cake section. They look like regular donuts, but they're not. They are quite. We did do a review on them a long time ago. We'll have to do another review.
We'll do another one. It's not in their cake section. It's in their baked bread
section.
In
the bakery section.
In the baked bread section. Yeah.
Kelly's right. Sorry, I was wrong there. So yeah, do look in the bakery section. And they're normally in a little box, normally a little pink box.
Yeah.
But there are some fantastic ones. And they do seasonal ones.
Yeah.
So they do one for Easter, which is a hot cross bun one, which is really, really good. And they did one for Christmas, which is quite a nice one with the elf and the Santa one. But they do that. Charlie's got more followers just while being on the live. Well done.
880. Wow.
But yeah, Vaughan, that would be our recommendation if you try the M&S ones as well. But we do like cronuts, I'm afraid, and we are. Oh yeah, Vaughan said I'm not into fast food, not no to greasy spoons.
And no to greasy spoons. We were talking about greasy spoons,
weren't
we
actually?
Because there are some actually good greasy spoons, and I'm not talking about like fried. Like I'm talking about a proper nice calf rather than a greasy spoon. But yeah, I've been to a couple of greasy spoons, but again, yeah. Do you know what? The problem with me is if you are not regularly, if the oil is not clean, so if it's not regularly that you're cleaning the oil, the food doesn't agree with me. So I can't eat something where. So there was
sent it now.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I was just waiting for a break to say, yeah, I've got it.
Hey, that's really nice.
Very, very cute. Very cute.
Are we allowed to share it, or is that just a secret? That's very nice.
There we go. Let me show.
Or maybe not, because it's got photos in the background.
All right. Let me just make it a bit bigger.
But only if he says yes.
Yeah. So if you say yes, then I'll show everyone your reindeer. But yeah, where's everyone's favorite?
What's everybody's favorite landmark? Well, in London, there's quite a lot. So I would probably say, oh yeah, you can share. He says.
Okay.
There you go. Look, so Keegan wants.
So
us
I've
to
just
share.
made it a little bit bigger because he had some personal pictures in the background.
There we are.
But there you go. That's his.
Keegan's reindeer.
So this is Keegan's reindeer that he got for Christmas. Very, very cute, I have to say. Look at the red nose as well.
Actually, in fact, they would make great ears for the Mickey ears.
I'm assuming it's Rudolph. So yeah, so I think there we go.
Well, my favourite landmark, if I'm originally from the West Country, so it's going to be Stonehenge for me.
For me, I do like Stonehenge the way it was in the beginning before they roped it off and God knows what because people were idiots. But I think for me, would you call it a landmark? I don't know. No, not Stonehenge. Would you? For me, I love Leicester Square.
Yeah,
so
I'll let that go. I'll let that go.
Because in Leicester Square they have little landmarks, I guess. So I don't know whether you would call the whole square because I love the whole square. And I think the reason why is because when I was growing up, Leicester Square was the place to be. You'd feed the birds and all of that type of stuff. So I absolutely love Leicester Square.
Do you know what I miss actually? When I first came to London, so this is in the 1990s, the Trocadero was awesome.
Oh yeah,
and now it's just like it had cinema, it had loads of things to do. It had actual fact back then it had what they called an alien. It was so funny. So it was an alien experience. So Alien as an alien in Ripley's from the Alien franchise. So you would go around with a Marine and these aliens would pop out. Basically, it was an actor in a suit. But they had to change it because people kept punching the alien. Because what would happen, the alien would come out and scare people and people's reaction would go, and then punch it.
Well, I don't know what they were expecting.
So this poor actor just kept getting punched in the face. So they had to change it. Keegan's is Tower Bridge. Okay.
I like Tower Bridge. I mean, there are quite. I like the Albert Bridge. I think more than Tower Bridge.
Charlie said, "Did you know in Leicester Square they got a Premier Inn?" I didn't know that actually. Oh,
no, I didn't.
Oh, I was in a fancy furniture store at Christmas. They had a life-size reindeer, stunning at £995. Oh my lord!
Wow. Wow.
Would you have that in your front room?
Could it fit in your front room? Because for that amount, I imagine it's life size.
Oh my god! Do you know what though? It does. It always makes you laugh how people spend an absolute fortune on Christmas decks. But even when they light up the house, I mean, it's really expensive electricity-wise to have all that out on the outside of it. And you've got to nail it all up to your house. But £995.
I have seen some fantastic lights and lit up houses, but the best one that I ever saw. So my friend and I can't remember where we were coming back from.
Oh, Vaughan's is the London Parks. Do you know what? That's a really good landmark. I can't wait for the summer. Actually, I'm really looking forward to going around the park. I love the parks in the summer. They're really nice in the spring because that's when you get to see all the blossom and the leaves forming.
I think my favourite park has to be Battersea Park again because that's where I grew up. So it's Rudolph. I did have an inkling that it might be Rudolph. But yeah, I have to say Battersea Park is probably one of like if not my most favourite park.
So Charlie's is Angel of the North.
The actual thing.
Do you know what? Officially, Charlie, that is the world's most viewed art piece.
Okay.
And the reason being, the way they calculated it is because it's right by the motorway.
All right.
They count everybody going past it every day.
Right.
So it's officially the world's most viewed art piece, just purely because it's right by the motorway. So they count.
I feel it is stunning. That when Vaughan said landmark, that is what first came to mind, not as my favorite, but when you say landmark, whenever I never think of Stonehenge, that is the Angel of the North is what comes to mind because it's so massive, it's so big that is what automatically comes to mind. But no, my favorite has to be Leicester Square. My favorite park is Battersea Park. It's a huge park, you've got the bridge. You've got the River Thames that runs right in the middle of the park. You got the zoo there as well. We actually did a quick film of the park.
Yeah.
but it was only very quick because it was so hot that day.
Oh, so this is around about the time it was 40 degrees last year. It was absolute. I was roasting.
Yeah,
that day.
we hadn't eaten, and so we didn't get to investigate the whole of the park as I would have liked. But I was showing Mark all different places where I grew up. I showed him where I went to school.
Yeah.
And all of that type of stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love Battersea Park. I want to go back again, and actually want to go through the zoo this time and see, you know, what's entailed in the zoo, because it's been many years since I've been. And then I want to go around the other side of the park as well. But there was like what was that? A little Lido, where you saw like everybody was using, because one of the Lidos that they had, because when I was growing up, there were several. So not like swimming pool, but like, you know, pools that you can just wade in and stuff like that. And I remember when I was growing up, there were several of them. You would just run in and out of the different sort of like little shallow pools that they had. And then when we went there was one pool that was still that way, and I was just like, oh my god, they still have one at least. The others are still there, but they are so like congealed from all the sun and growing frog spawn, it looks like, or whatever. But the other pool that they've kept it as, yeah, people are able to run in and out of it.
Charlie said, "What's the biggest park in London?" I think that's Hyde Park. I think Hyde Park is the largest.
Yeah, it might be, yeah.
Keegan says, "Can you share it to people on Facebook?"
Yes, I will share it to people on Facebook for sure. And yes, I do like the reindeer. I have to say, he's very cute.
Amazing.
Yeah, very cute.
Well, guys, we've been going for exactly 2 hours.
Oh wow, has it gone that quickly?
Yes, Keegan. So we've been going for. So I think we're going to leave it there for today. But thank you so much to everybody that's contributed today. We had such good fun doing the live, as we always do.
Yeah, it's flown by.
It has. It's gone really quick.
Even realised we'd been chatting for 2 hours.
So thank you so much for all your comments and suggestions. We always do take them on board. And thank you so much for the suggestions, especially for the our budget little thing that we want to do, cheap eats. So we will take those on board. That's it from Mark and Kelly's tricks, tips, and things for this week. However, we will be back Tuesday, 6 p.m. UK time for more little discussions, so where you can talk to us about anything you'd like. Before then, have a fantastic weekend. Do look after yourselves. Take care. And remember, you are never too old to have fun. We will see you next Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Time flies. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Love you too. Bye. Bye. Keegan. Bye.